Gotta go find. Hey, you guys! I'm live! Waiting for you guys to come on. Trying to adjust the lighting. So, I figure here's a game plan. I figure I would try to do lives every Sunday at 9. Live at 9, okay? That's going to be my future goal on the lives. I hope this lighting is right. I can't tell until I'm actually on to see if the lighting is good. It looks about right. Let me see if I can get a boost to a pillow under me so I can be more. All right. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, so that's my goal. Do a live at 9 a.m. on Sundays. Today, I asked people yesterday what you guys want to talk about. And the first one was talking about my relationships with therapists. That was 0%. The second one was having borderline personality disorder and growing up with a schizophrenic father. And that was 43%. The third one was my marriage, and that was a big whopping 57%. And the last one on the poll was other. Like you can pick any topic, and that was 0%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my marriage because 57% of people said that's what they wanted to talk about today. Justin! Oh, thank you, Justin! That really warms the heart. It really warms the bosom. If you have any questions, go ahead. Feel free to ask me anything. Jump right in. But right now, I'm going to talk about my marriage because 57% of you guys that answered my poll said that's what they wanted to talk about in this live. But I'm open to talking about other things as well. So I was a virgin and my husband was a virgin when we met at Mass Bay Community College in Wellesley Hills, Massachusetts. I didn't date at all. I have a little piece of apple caught in my throat. Now, I only had a few friends. Like I said, I've never dated. My husband had a relationship, a friendship with another girl before me. I'm not going to bring names because my husband's not as open as I am. I'll just say that he had like a friendship. It wasn't a romantic relationship before me with another girl. They never kissed or anything. They just were like pals. Me, on the other hand, I didn't even have that. I had 0. Okay. I was an only child. I had borderline personality disorder. I grew up with a narcissistic mother who was very abusive to me, emotionally, verbally abusive. My father had schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia, and he was in and out of mental hospitals. And he went to McLean's Hospital in Belmont, very famous. James Taylor was there. Not at the same time my dad was. I wish he was, because then I could tell you some great stories, but I can't lie. So my father left my mother when I was like a little bit, maybe 2. I don't know the exact age. And my mother, was very abusive. And I had no siblings. Like I said, I was very sheltered. There was always screaming and yelling, swearing in the house, throwing things. But this is nothing to do with my marriage. This is to do with my childhood. Now, on the other hand, my parents hated each other. My future husband's parents were adorable. They had very high respect for one another. They were so cute. I mean, I was like shocked when I used to go over his house. his father would go and kiss and hug his mother. And like, I never saw that. All the years growing up in my house, my mother would be throwing things at him or clawing him, scratching, leaving like bleeding scars on his arms, or swearing you effing no good this, and like it was a house of chaos, really. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Justin. Are you the only one on here? Come on, more people. Join the party as I fix my crazy hair. I can't tell. I always look different on camera than I do in real person. I think so. Not totally, but you know. So what was I getting at? All right. So I got accepted to a 4-year university in New Hampshire. And my mother said, "You're not going to go there. You'll never make it. I'm not paying that. You're not going. You know, you're too stupid. You'll never last." I got accepted. I wanted to move out of my house and be independent. And my mother talked me out of it. So what did she talk me into? Mass Bay Community College was cheaper than the high school, the Catholic high school I went to. So of course she's going to say go to Mass Bay because it's cheaper than what she was paying for my high school. That's a no-brainer, right? Like, I don't give a fuck about, you know, your career or your life, just as long as it doesn't cost me anything. That's all I give a shit about. So I went to Mass Bay, and my best friend Julia at the time was going to Mass Bay, so that really encouraged me to go there, because my best friend Julia, she was going, and my other friend Maria was supposed to be going there too, but she decided not to. She decided to work at Bradley's instead of go to college. At that time, later on, she chose another college. I don't know where she went, but she did go to some college. At the time when we graduated high school, I think she decided to just go to work full time, get some money first, and then go to college. And then my friend Cheryl in high school, she went on to nursing school. So I don't know what nursing school she went on to. So me and Julia are going to Mass Bay, two bosom buddies. And Julia had this, she worked in the AV center, audio visual center, with, you know, videos and tapes and everything and books. It was like a little audio video library. And they had tables and you can study in there and everything. And this girl, Ruth, who looked just like Irene Cara from Fame, I'm gonna live forever, worked with her, and they became good friends. And then her friend Ruth was friends with Kenny, who was best friends with Andrew. And that's how we got introduced, okay? They were all going to go out to lunch. Ruth, Julia, Kenny, Andrew. And so Julia said, "Hey, we're going to lunch. Come and join us. Have some lunch at McDonald's. You're only college kids. You know, we can't afford any big lunch." Okay. And who ended up driving but my future husband, Andrew? We all packed in his car, and it started out with everyone went up to the counter to order some McDonald's, McNuggets, cheeseburgers, whatever you get at McDonald's. And I don't know what I got. And then I went back to the table, and Andrew ordered his and went back to the table. So the other guys were still in line ordering. So me and Andrew were sitting at the table alone. And we started talking. And then one thing, I don't know, I guess we found out we had a lot in common. And after a few more times of hanging out at the college, he asked me on a date. And we went to Fun and Games. It was a video arcade in Framingham, Massachusetts, if you're familiar with the area. And it was very loud in there. It was very noisy. And so I said, "Can we do something else that's quiet?" Andrew said, yeah. He didn't like that loud noise either. So we went to a park, Bird Park in Walpole, where Andrew lived. Walked around the park for a little while, talking, getting to know each other, you know. And then I said, "I'd like to meet your parents now." I don't know why. I said that. In fact, one of the first questions I asked my husband in college before we even went on a date was, are you close to your parents? He pulled out a picture out of his wallet of his mother and father. And I thought that was very weird. Like, my adult son, okay, Austin, he doesn't have a picture of me and my husband in his wallet. And I never heard of anyone carrying a picture of their parents in their wallet. They might carry a picture of their girlfriend. Yeah, but their parents. So I thought that was unique. And who knows why? I'm a very shy woman. I don't even know why I asked him that. But he said, okay. And his parents were like, they thought it was strange. Why are you bringing home this girl? You just went on one date. It's not time to introduce her to the family yet. But, that's how it went down. I forget how, they were nice. They seemed nice. And then one date led to the second date, which was a movie, Splash. And that was in the evening. So it was a more formal date. The first date was in the afternoon. The second date was more in the evening. And then we dated for like 3.5 years before we got married. So we both, let's see. You're absolutely adorable. Thank you. I hope so. I'm 60 years old. I try to I act and look younger. I try to be more spunky and not like an old lady, But thank you, Justin. If you put an A in front, and if you take an A and remove the J, you'd be my son, Austin. And it wasn't after Austin Powers or my mother-in-law, whose maiden name was Austin, Phyllis Austin. I picked Austin because it was unique. It wasn't like Joe or John or Steve, a common, or Michael. Those are common names. And it was an A because my husband was Andrew and our firstborn is Alex. So I picked Austin. Now, where is everyone else? It's just Justin. Oh my goodness. I love to have you here, Justin, but I wish more people would show up. I told people about this live yesterday. I gave them over 24 hours. I think I told them what did I tell them? Yesterday afternoon or early afternoon. What did I say? I gave them almost 24 hours. So, which is not like me, because what I usually do is I just jump on a live spontaneously. I don't have any forethought. I don't plan it out. This live I planned out. I told people about this live in advance. And I even asked them what they wanted to talk about. And 57% said they wanted to talk about my marriage. Just me. I know, Justin. It's just you, which I love. Oh, wait a minute. Hope. Hey, good morning, Hope. Hope is here. Yay. Now, Hope, are you the person that is interested in my borderline personality disorder? Gotta ask you that. I think you're interested in something that I haven't covered lately. So, Hope, what are you interested in talking about? Because I just was talking about my marriage, how I was introduced to my husband and dating and everything. Because, yes, ma'am, I'm from Memphis. Oh, Memphis, Tennessee. I remember that. I remember you from Memphis, Tennessee. Get in touch with Mama Marie. She called me all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. I remember you, Hope. Yes. So I was going to wonder, is there something you want to talk about, Justin or Hope in particular? Yeah, we were going to do a swap. Yeah, I remember, because you live in a nice, warm, tropical or semi-tropical climate. I'm up here in Boston, where it's freezing cold, and it snows and the leaves are all down, making a mess of my yard and the street. And yeah, the country mouse and the city mouse. So we could swap off and you could come down here and I could go to Tennessee. But is there any topic or any question you'd like me to cover? All right, because when I do a live, this is a chance you guys get of having me talk about what you are interested in. All right, instead of me doing a video and you're like, yeah, you know, you're not too interested in what I'm talking about. But here you get to bring up the topic, you get to ask the questions. So feel free. If you don't ask me anything or you don't say anything, I'm going to continue talking about my marriage, because I did a poll and 57% of people said that's what they wanted to know. So I said we were both virgins. We both met at a community college. If I had to do it over again, you know, I'd rather pick a man who's had a little experience, an older man. I always was attracted to older men who had more experience. So when you're both virgins, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, so I'm interested in your marriage too. Okay, cool. Well, cool. So both being virgins, it was awkward. I never kissed before. That was awkward. Everything was awkward and mechanical and like, because I didn't know what I was doing. I never did it. So think about anything. I'm not just talking about marriage or sex. If you never done something before and this is your first time straight up do it, like riding a bike. That's the analogy I use. You never gone on a bike. You're a young kid. You don't know how to balance yourself. You're going to fall off that bike, right? So that's how it was. It was very awkward, very strange. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like, you know, how do I insert A into B? I'll give you, I don't know how much they're going to censor me, but yeah, we've been together since 1984. I met him in 1984, and I married him in 1987. And here it is, 2025. Okay. So here's the regrets. I got married too young. I was only 22. He was my first boyfriend. I only met him when I was 18. I did cheat on him during my marriage because I didn't chew my wild oats at all. Not saying that's an excuse or that makes it right. I'm just saying that, you know, I never really had experience and I wanted to experience other men, you know? So that's partly why I got involved in my psychologist too. You know, he was 11 years older than me. I'm not going to go into that because I know people aren't interested in that right now, but so that's how it started out. Very awkward, but we had a lot in common. And it was like marrying your best friend. You ever have a best friend, man or woman or whatever, and like you two are like two peas in a pod, okay? And that's what it's like, was married to my husband. It's like marrying your bosom buddy, you know, marrying your best friend. You have a lot in common. And that's how it was. And let's see. So we moved into my parents' apartment upstairs. My parents owned a 2-family house. You must love each other a lot and accept each other. Yes, I definitely love my husband. I know he's in love with me. He is definitely like my rock. He's my rock, my foundation. He's my family. Okay. So him and my 2 sons are my life, my world, my everything. Okay. I have no friends. I'm an only child, like I said. So my husband and my 2 sons are my world. Basically, that's my whole world right there in a nutshell. Oh, I'm a lucky lady. Thank you. Thank you. Are you married, Hope or Justin? You guys married? you guys divorced or something. I don't know. Have you ever been married? Do you have any kids? I mean, feel free to tell me about yourself too, you know, if you're married or divorced or you have children or you don't have children or whatever, you know, if you ever wanted to get married or were engaged. I have a partner. How's that going out? How's that going for you, Hope? Are you in a good place with your partner? I've been married 3 times. Wow! You could write the book there, Hope. Wow, 3 times. That's a lot. Yeah. But that's more common now. All right. Back a long time ago, I love him very much. He is the best. Awesome. Good for you, Hope. I'm very happy that you found that. It's not uncommon, multiple divorces. First of all, back in the day, probably my day, in the 60s or 70s when I was growing up, divorce was not something you really spoke about. My mother was divorced when she married my father. So she already been married, my mother. You had relationship issues. Well, don't we all? How you going to, you know, you have to grow and you have to learn. Yeah, but so my mother didn't really go around telling people that she was divorced. But nowadays, divorce is like, you know, who hasn't been divorced? Okay. And nowadays, it's not just movie stars who's had multiple divorces. Nowadays, a lot of people have had more than one divorce. It's very, very common divorce. Also, a lot of people stay in unhappy marriages too and don't divorce, you know, so you get that too. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have relationship issues. After all, I have borderline personality disorder. You can't get worse than that for having relationship issues. If you know anything about borderline personality disorder, yeah, I could talk about that, but I'm not sure if you guys want me to jump into that or not. But having that is very difficult to have personal relationships with anyone. Not just men, okay? Women too, because my emotions are very intense. They're over the top. I don't handle things well. So let's see. Talking about my marriage, I'm still talking about my marriage because over 57% of people wanted to hear about that. All right. So when did I first start cheating? So I was a preschool teacher working with young children, which I enjoyed, 3 and 4-year-olds. And when I first got married, my husband was working in an engineering firm. He was not an engineer, but he was doing clerical work in an engineering firm. And because of my borderline personality disorder, I had like issues with my boss. And instead of talking them out like a normal adult would, I just walked off the job. Okay. Probably because looking back, I didn't know I was borderline, okay, until I was like, I don't know, 40, almost 40. So I didn't know what I was doing was because I had a mental illness. All right. I thought it was just normal. I had no idea I was disturbed. So I walked off the job. You've done that too? Okay. I wrote a letter to the manager, and I said I'm unhappy and I'm not working here anymore. And I dropped the letter off on a Friday afternoon and never came back. And so after months of not working, my husband got me a job in his engineering firm. Well, yo-ho-ho, the barrel of rum. I was like a kid in a candy store. This was an engineering firm with lots of engineers, lots of computer programmers, and lots and lots and lots of men, the male species. Here am I. I only been with my husband my whole life, never dated, never kissed anyone, nothing, just my husband. And I only worked with 3 or 4-year-old kids, young little kids. the only males I were around were like 3 and 4. And here I walk in. This engineering firm is like, okay, people, woohoo, woohoo. Calm me down. You must like, I think I'm attracted to very intelligent men. Why? Because I'm stupid. Probably that's why. That's true. Hope got it. You got it right. I am attracted to very intelligent men. And they were good looking. And I came on to a few of them. And they turned me down because guess what? My husband works there. All right. So they're not going to go making a play for me when my husband works in the same small office. It wasn't that small. It had, what did I have, 14 floors? I worked on the 7th floor, but you know what I'm saying. We both worked in that. We both worked there. And so I did come on to men and they rejected me. And so I didn't have an affair then. It only started with AOL, American Online. How many people remember that? Those chat rooms? The internet made infidelity very, very easy. Okay, very easy. I mean, it almost handed it to you on a silver plate. Okay, because you could get to know people like right now. Okay, I'm talking to you. You're talking to men, you're talking to women, you get to know people, you message each other, you see how people look, you know, and then you decide to meet. If you live locally, you meet them. And that's what I did. And that's how I started cheating. By first going on the internet, going on in AOL chat rooms, chatting with men, getting to know them, then exchanging, you know, messages, pictures, and whatnot, and then meeting them. What else? What else you guys interested in? Let's see. So, yeah. So I met a couple of men there. I had an affair with one of them who was also married. Does your husband care if you cheat? Yes, very much. I hurt my husband very much. I don't cheat anymore. God, it's been a long time. I think let me see. 2016, that would be 8 years ago, right? No, 16, 4, 5, 9 years ago. 9 years. Yeah, because it's 2005. So that's 9 years ago. So I haven't cheated in 9 years, and I'm 60. I have no intention of ever being with another man except my husband. So yeah, he did care that I cheated, but I think with him, he thought it was a phase that I would outgrow. Nelson! All right, Nelson. Good morning, Nelson. The reason that Nelson intrigues me, you intrigue me, Nelson, is because you ask like these really intense questions that make me think, you know, like the kind of questions that Nelson asks really make me think, you know, I have to give it some thought. It's not like, you know, what's your favorite color, or, you know, how long you've been married. Nelson asks intense questions. So I always wonder what kind of career Nelson has. I thought he was a psychologist, but he said he wasn't, because the type of questions that Nelson asks are intense. Yeah. So go ask a question, Nelson, so people can get an idea of what kind of questions you ask, which are interesting. And until you do that, I'll continue talking about my marriage, because that's what 57% of you wanted to talk about. So let's see. Yeah. So the first relationship, this relationship with, his name was Randy, happened when my son was in the hospital. My son was in the hospital for 2 years, stricken with pneumococcal meningitis. He lost big chunks of his mind. As a result, he's 30 years old now and he's an invalid. He can't dress himself. He can't shower himself. He can't brush his teeth. He can't write his name. He needs constant help. You know, he can't take care of himself. So he's in a group home for men, adult men that have those, that can't take care of themselves, that needs round the clock care. So yeah, so my son was stricken with meningitis and in the hospital. And I used to spend the whole day from early in the morning till the evening when Randy would pick me up at 6:30 with my son. And I just needed an escape. I was not drinking alcohol back then. So I wasn't using alcohol as an escape like I do now. I use alcohol as an escape now. But back then when I was married, and what was I don't know, in my mid-30s, I wasn't drinking. So I used Randy as an escape. And Randy was ugly as sin. Dumb. He only had a high school education. Fat. He was like 280 pounds. He had no teeth. I mean, think of Fred Flintstone on the Flintstones. And there's your Randy. Fred Flintstone was a spitting image of the guy I had my first affair with. And I only had another affair, and that was with my psychologist for 2 years, who looked nothing like Fred Flintstone. So why did I go with someone who was ugly and repulsive? I don't know, repelling, or what's the word I'm looking for? That repulsed me, or it just was. I just needed an escape. He was there. It was like, you know, he was my father called him an opportunist. He was there at the right time in the right place where I just needed an escape. I just needed to walk out that door and forget everything, you know, and then he was the one that was there. No one else was there. I didn't have any friends were there. I didn't have any family that was there. Like well, what about your husband? People could say, well, you know, my husband was going through the same thing. Now that might bring other people closer in their marriage. They're both suffering over their son who's hospitalized and never will get his mind back. He'll never be the same. He'll always be an invalid. Situations like these could go either way. It could either draw people together or push people far apart. Now, my friend Linda, unfortunately, her baby died of cancer. And I think he was like under 2, maybe a year and a half or 2 years old when he died. And it completely ripped her marriage apart. They divorced. So like I said, these situations, these life crises, these major life altering events can either draw people together or completely push people apart. And my marriage was already falling apart before Alex got sick. I was dating other men on the internet, even though I wasn't in an affair or anything. It was already falling apart. Let's see. In that period, were you more afraid of losing him or more afraid of disappearing inside the relationship? More afraid of losing who? My husband? I was never afraid of losing my husband. Was I afraid of disappearing into the relationship? The affair? No, I wasn't afraid of either. I wasn't afraid of losing my husband. I wasn't afraid of disappearing into the relationship. So I wasn't afraid of either one of those things, Nelson. But that's a good question. See, Nelson asks good questions. Also, Hope asked a good question. Does my husband care if I cheat? And he did, but he was very patient and thought it was just a phase I was going to go through. I don't think many people would think of it like that, but that's what he thought of it, that it was just going to be a phase. And, you know, I would eventually, I'll grow the phase. I'll grow it. Anything else? Why wasn't I? Let's see. Oh, what kind of man is he? My husband? He's very quiet. He loves history. He loves reading. He's patient. He's very much a family man. He's not into sports. He doesn't drink at all. Doesn't touch a drop. He's not one of the guys. My husband is not one of the guys. You know, one of the guys, hey, Bob, what are you doing tonight? Let's get a couple of beers at the bar. Or, hey, Fred, come on over my house. We're having, you know, a big a party, you know, Super Bowl Sunday. Come on over, having a big party. No, that's not him. He's nothing like that. He's not one of the boys. He's not into sports. He doesn't drink a drop. He's not a party person. I want to say he's introverted, but whoa, my computer almost fell. Oh, this is not balancing good. If you want to know the truth, my computer is balancing on my son's drum because I don't have any place to put it, and I didn't want to put it on my lap. Do you think it was desire, or it was destruction? Well, it depends on who you're talking about. With my psychologist, it was intense desire. Intense. It definitely was desire. With Randy, both were destructive, okay? Both of these relationships were destructive. But with my psychologist, it was the first time, well, the second time, I desired two psychologists, Dr. Richard Geist, who was Harvard graduate, and Dr. James Barbaria, who came from Duquesne College. It was a Catholic college. With those two men, there was intense desire. With Randy, I don't know what that was. Temporary insanity. It was just an escape. He was an opportunist. I needed an escape. I needed something to get me away from my life, my reality. My son was in a hospital. He was an invalid. He was never going to be the same again. I didn't have any family or friends I could lean on, really. And it was just an escape. It wasn't, it wasn't really what you would call desire. Although, because he was the only man beside my husband at that time I've been with, it felt like desire because of the novelty. Okay. So if you only ate one food your entire life, that's it. You only ate that one food, even though you liked it. When you taste another food, you're going to go, wow, this is so different. So you're going to just like it for the novelty of it. You're going to think that you like it because you've only done it one way your whole life. You've never had another, so just for that fact alone, it's going to seem pleasing. Okay. Just because of that fact. So does that answer your question about desire? Both were very destructive. Personally, the psychologist, oh God, I got to get something to put this computer on. The psychologist was more destructive to me and my family, much more destructive. And I didn't realize when I was with the psychologist that it really wasn't a relationship. Because he was in a position of power, it was statutory, rhymes with tape. I can't say that here, but I didn't realize that at the time. I thought because the other psychologist from Harvard, Dr. Richard Geist, that was seeing both of us, said that it was an equal relationship, and he was lying to me. It wasn't, and I didn't realize that at the time. So does that answer those questions? What is that? Okay. Sorry. When you felt that novelty or intense desire, did it feel like you were becoming more yourself or disappearing even more? I felt not with Randy, with my psychologists, I felt I was becoming more myself. Not with Randy. With Randy, I felt like I was disappearing even more. It was only like 4 or 5, maybe 5 months with Randy anyway. With my psychologist, I started writing poetry. Never wrote poetry before. I started doing yoga. I felt like, yeah, for the first time in my life, I felt like I was getting to know myself around that time, because I felt more liberated, because I wasn't in the role of just mother, in the role of just wife. I felt for the first time in my life, in my mid to late 30s, I was liberated. I was getting to know who I was, I love writing poetry. Like when I first went to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. What? I don't know what I want to do. I just went with what my best friend was doing, I just went to all her class. I took all the classes she did. But when I was with these men, I felt like, I was starting to come in of my own person. They were bringing this out in me, the rebel, Dr. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗄𝗃, Jim, definitely a rebel, that I have a rebellious streak in me. I'm different. I'm an oddball. That's why I'm published in Oddball Literary Magazine, because I'm such an oddball. So I hope that answered your question there. Feel free to ask more questions. So it was during the relationship with Jim, Dr. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗄𝗃, that things started, changing for me. And I started realizing that I have a little rebel streak in me. And I'm an artist. I'm a creative person. I'm not a 9-to-5 person. I worked in an office 9 to 5. I'm not a preschool teacher. I'm not a 9-to-5 person. I'm not a conventional mother or a conventional wife. I hate housekeeping. I hate cooking. I hate baking. I don't like socializing and having people over, doing like a housewife would do. I'm not a conventional person. And this probably blew my husband's mind, because his mother was conventional to a fault. Okay. She worked 9 to 5 as a secretary. So she's going off doing work for men. Then she comes home and now she has to cook dinner for a family of 6, every night, except for Saturday when they went out. So yeah, she was very much the conventional housewife, mother, secretary / Do you think that part of you still exists now, waiting for the right mirror? What I'm doing is I'm trying to get what happened to me, my story. I'm trying to get my story out through my books and my videos of what happened with me with my therapist. And I'm writing poetry, and I published poetry books, and I published other books about my life with my schizophrenic father, and about my affairs with my shrinks. And I feel like, yeah, do you think that part of you still exists now? Yeah, no, I think it's very much present, very much present. And I'm trying to, put that out there for the world. What it feels like is the world is shunning me, doesn't want to accept that part of me, wants me to probably be more conventional, which I'm not. I pretended to be something I was my whole life, up until maybe 50, I'm guessing. Maybe I don't know, my 40s, 50, I don't know. And I think it's hard for people to say, to realize, hey, I'm not going to be strapped in the conventional role. I'm an artist. You can't strap an artist in. Artists are unconventional people. I don't fit the mold. I fit outside. I don't fit in. I fit outside. that I fit out. That's how I am. And I feel like, yeah, that this is, I feel like I know myself. But here's the problem with me now, getting other people to accept me. Because now I know me. You know, you still learn about yourself every day. It's not like I fully know every aspect of myself, because that would be impossible. And nobody does, because everyone evolves. Everyone changes as they age. You evolve, you change, and you're not the same person. A month from now, I won't be the same person I am today sitting here, because something else will happen and I'll evolve and grow from that experience, you see? So we're always growing and we're always evolving. But where I am right now is probably the most I've ever known myself my whole life. And I'm 60. It took me to be 60 years old to finally realize or accept who I am and get to, you know, really say, hey, this is me. I'm a writer. I'm a poet. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a video streamer. You know, I'm an artist. I create. So this is, I'm not conventional. So this is, I've accepted that now more than I've ever have before. So does that, those are good questions. Are there any more? Are you still with us, Hope? I don't know. Are you still with us? I'm trying to balance this laptop here. I mean, it's a good learning curve that next time I'm not going to put my computer on on a drum. So I need to have a table here or something where I can keep my computer, because I'm down in my basement. And, you know, usually I have my tripod for my videos. I put my tripod here and my phone on my tripod. And then I go, let's see. That's amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nelson. What about you? What do you do, Nelson? I'm you know, you ask these great questions. I'm curious about what you do. And who else is around to talk more? Oh, any more? Let's see. Any more questions? I could keep talking about my marriage. I think the lighting is fading here too. Trying to get that lighting going. You know, the natural light is coming in. You can see that's the window light over there behind me. See there? That's the light from the window. What do you? But so it was never about being accepted by people. It was about being seen as the one who does not belong to them. Being seen is very big for me. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I think, yeah, being seen is very important. Does being seen mean that you're accepted by people? Don't you think it has some of it does? If someone sees me, not necessarily though, no. But yeah, being seen is important to me. But probably because I was invisible all my life, right? Why would being seen be so important now if I never felt seen all my life? So I think being seen is very important. I do feel very invisible. I feel like people don't see me. This is very true. And in the case of 𝗂 𝗫𝗁, I hate to bring that name up again because I think some of you guys get angry at me for bringing her up. But 𝗂 𝗫𝗁 was a TikToker, an ordinary woman who came on and said, I'm in love with my psychiatrist, and went viral. Now she's making a lot of money and she's famous. So she's really seen. She went viral. She has hundreds of millions of viewers. She's making money off of her story, and I'm not making a dime off of my story. So I feel invisible. I do not feel seen. People are not paying attention to me. People, and that really bothers me intensely. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Being seen was very important. and I don't feel seen. And that's not a good thing. Not feeling seen is not a good thing. What else? So visibility isn't about approval. It's about existing. Yeah. It's about existing. Right. I agree. Yeah. It's about existing and feeling immortal. Why do you think I love to write? Don't they say writers, authors are immortal? Why are they immortal? Because when an author dies, their book, think about Emily Dickinson, okay? If you know, everyone's heard of Emily Dickinson, whether you like poetry or not. She's immortal, even though she's been dead for whatever centuries. Why is she immortal? Because her poetry lives on. So her word, her spoken, her written word lives on. So it's kind of like immortality, not just being seen now, being remembered, okay? Being seen now and being remembered. Does that answer your question? Oh, man. I'm trying to adjust this. There we go. I don't know about the lighting, though. The lighting is a little off. How's that? What about anything else? Any other questions? I could keep talking about, what if I go, no, I could keep talking about my marriage. It's been difficult lately because my husband's been out of work for a long time and the unemployment's run out. And because I'm not a conventional wife, I'm not bringing in any income because what am I doing? I'm writing and I'm doing YouTube all day. And that's not bringing in money. Like if I had a 9-to-5 job where I would be bringing in the money. So I don't have a conventional job. It's not that you're not chasing fame. You're securing your place in time itself. Yes. We all know fame is fleeting, right? I mean, someone might be famous, except if you're Madonna or Billy Joel. Certain people are always going to be famous, no matter how old they are, or no matter, like, she was from the 80s, okay? She flourished in the 90s, and, here it is, 2025, and she's still hot as ever, and she's in her 60s, and yeah, I mean, that's how it is. For some people, fame isn't fleeting, but for a lot of people, it is. But I just want, like, I want to be noticed. I want people to read my books. I want people to watch my videos. I want to be recognized. And I want people to hear my words through my poetry, through my books, through my videos. It's very important. And I have not gotten to that point at all. So I feel like, I feel like a failure, but I keep going on. And one might ask me, like, why do you keep going on when you're not getting anything from it? And it's because I feel so passionate about it. That's why, I would rather do what I do and love it every day. I wake up and I can't wait to do it and get no money, which I'm not making any money. Then go to a 9-to-5 job like I had, and every day going, oh God, I'm going into there. I have to work there. I can't wait to get home. I can't wait for the weekend. I never feel like that. Every day is Friday. Okay, to me, because I'm loving what I do. Now, here's my goal: to make money doing what I love. And what would that mean? That would mean people will be buying my books, and people do buy my books, but not many. 2 people bought my books this month. 2. I sold 2 books this month. I'm not getting views on YouTube. My last short got over 1,000 views. Can you believe that? That's very rare. The last short I did, no, it was 2 shorts ago. Wasn't this last one. It was the one before this last one where I got 1,100 views. I was really shocked. Yeah. So I hope that, coming on and doing the lives too, because when I do the lives, I make myself accessible to my subscribers. And here's a time to get to really know me, for me to really get to know you, for you to talk about or ask me what you want to ask me. Or even let me know about yourself, whatever you want to say. There's no, as long as you're respectful and, honest, you're not a troll. Then yeah, this is our time. That's why I thought I'd be doing it, every Sunday, because Sundays at this time is good for people. They're home from work. Oh, Jamie. Oh, you love the Hungry Wolf video? Oh, let me tell you something about, what's that? Janie Smith. I love doing those karaoke videos, those were so much fun. I love to dress up and I love to sing. I love to perform. So I was performing in those videos and I was having a ball. I love doing that. That was so fun because I get to be creative. And the Hungry Like the Wolf video, if you know, I paint my face like a wolf, and I have like a sword in my hand, and it's so much fun. You'd rather be broke and eternal than comfortable and forgotten. That's the real choice. Yes. Nelson nailed it. I would rather be broke and be eternal than comfortable and forgotten. Absolutely. You nailed it, Nelson. And this is true. That's how it is, because it's your life. You only get one. All right. Unless you believe in reincarnation. Do I believe in reincarnation? Here's where I am about everything in religion. I don't disbelieve anything. Neither do I believe in something 100%. I'm open. All right. I don't know what kind of religion that is. I grew up Catholic. I married a Protestant. I changed to Protestant. But what do I believe? I believe anything's a possibility. So I'm not saying I don't believe in reincarnation, but I'm not telling you I believe in it either. I don't know. I'm open to, I'm open. That is a possibility. But neither am I like brimstone saying, yes, this is it. There's heaven, there's hell. There's only one God. There's reincarnation. And you can't sit there and look me in the face and say, either, because you'd be lying, But I respect everyone, everyone's beliefs, wherever you are, whatever your belief is, I respect you. All right. Here's the thing, though. Don't try to push it on me. Okay. That's the only thing I ask. Whatever you believe, your religion, or in the afterlife, or in reincarnation, or in witches, whatever you believe. All right. It's cool. It's all good. But just don't try to push it on me. That's all I ask. Don't push your beliefs on me, and we're cool. What else? Anyone else here? You got a karaoke person here? Jamie Smith. Jamie Summers, the Bionic Woman. I used to love that show, Jamie Summers. Look at the crazy light, huh? It keeps coming more and more and more into this room, making more and more shadows. It's just crazy. Immortality isn't just living forever. It's something behind that cannot die. Echoing. Yes. Right. like having a higher purpose. Like when I said about Emily Dickinson, her words are ringing on people forever, even though she has been dead for ages. So it's like, even when I'm gone, I'm still not gone. And that's why they say writers are immortal. Have you ever heard of that? They say writers are immortal. I wonder what I could do with this light. I'm having so much trouble with lighting. I need a cameraman and I need a lighting crew. I need about everything. I'm really a one-woman show. I do everything on my own. You know, I edit all my videos. I do all my thumbnails. Oh, I do have the help of vidIQ. All right. So those thumbnails I pay for vidIQ services, which are $20 a month. So that's where that's coming from. The karaoke was fun. I love doing that. That was all my own. Of course, some people said I sounded horrible. Other people said everyone was laughing at me, how terrible I was. But I didn't care. You know, I just kept doing it. But I never was going to make money doing that. And I love doing that. But I also love talking about therapy, my life experiences, being borderline, my childhood, my mental health channel. I love that too, you know. But the karaoke was only like 2 or 3 minutes. I saw that in a film. Writers don't live in time. They give time its meaning. Yay! That is so good. That is so true. Did you hear what Nelson just said? Writers don't live in time. They give time its meaning, right? And that's how I feel too. I feel exactly like that. And I love to write. I wrote a poem. And it's on my post. This morning's poem, I've been putting my poetry now on my YouTube posts. So if you are a subscriber, go to the post and you'll see the poem I wrote this morning. And I've been putting up a lot more poetry in my YouTube posts. Because poetry is a very big thing for me. I wasn't sure if I should share it with my YouTubers. And I said, well, why not? Okay, I'll just put it up there. And the people who want to read it can read it. If you don't want to read it, you don't have to read it, you know. But it's up there anyway. Anything else? I don't have a lot of people on this live. Last time I did a live, I had many more people. I wonder if it's the time. It's 10:05. So I don't know if it's the time or what that are making people, or people are just busy today or whatnot. I don't know. Let's see if I can try to rest this like this. And the lighting. Would love to see you do the Stones. Start me up. Oh, yeah. I'm afraid if I start going back to that, doing the karaoke, that people will drop out. A lot of people have dropped out. I've lost like almost 20 subscribers. Oh, God, the sun is like it's pouring in that window. See, now it's in my face. It's crazy. I'm afraid, you know, people subscribe to my channel for a reason. And if you subscribe, for instance, for my karaoke, and I no longer do karaoke, I talk about schizophrenia or borderline, then you'll drop out. And it's hard to please everyone, you know. And a lot of people, you know, I'm promoting this as a mental health channel predominantly. I have done a couple of karaokes here and there, and yeah, so I might I'm trying to get a better grip on the lighting in this room, which is driving me crazy. I have to turn to How's that? Trying to avoid that light for the window. It's making a big shadow. You can see more of the room now. This was my parents' couch, this gold couch here. So, yes. Maybe I'll think about doing that, I'll think about doing that karaoke. We'll see. We'll see. Because I enjoy doing karaoke. Oh, the lighting, it just all of a sudden changes. Crazy. Yeah, we'll see. I might do another karaoke. The one thing you have to worry about now with doing karaoke is its licensing of I can't say the word. There's a copyright license, okay, you have to worry about. So you can't, they don't allow it. Like when I first started doing karaoke, I didn't have to worry about copyrights or license or anything. Now YouTube is cracking down on that. So this is another reason why I do not do the karaoke, because you have to be very careful about the license and copyright. They won't allow you to have it. There we go. Oh boy, I'm going to learn from this live. I'm going to have to do my live and cover up that window. I'm going to have to set it up differently next time, so I won't be so aggravated. We're trying to balance in the lighting. It's just live and learn, like they say, Yeah, so it's been an hour now, 10:08. Anyone have any other? Oh, let's see. I love your outfit today. Absolutely stunning. It's just a ratty dress. You know how old this is? A ratty dress I got in my cellar closet that I bought at a thrift shop many years ago and just been hanging there. I probably cost me only like, $5 or $6. And yeah, it's just been in my closet, so I just threw it on. But does anyone have any more questions for me? Oh man, I'm trying to bring that thing closer to me. Yeah, anyone, any more questions? Let me get that. The lighting. How's that? I don't know. The window is casting this deep dark shadow. How many people have watched Dark Shadows? The Shadow knows. I'm in a room near a window, and over the past hour, the lighting has keep casting. See that light? See that on me, and it's just been crazy. So what else was I talking about? My marriage. I haven't cheated since 2016. I didn't really chew my wild oats. How's that? Music is the best thing to pick you up when you feel that. Exactly. How can you be depressed when you have music on? It's very hard. Woo! When you're doing music, it's very hard not to feel depressed. I mean, I love it. I love doing music. Everyone loves music, though, right? I think everyone loves music. Everyone, those sad songs say so much. So turn them on those sad songs. When all hope is gone, I really am balancing my computer on a drum. Am I wacky? I don't have a table down here next to my couch, so I just took the drum, put the computer on the drum, and there, good to go. Except it keeps falling off. And I got this wacky light that I see. that I keep trying to hold up. Yeah. So I'm a one-woman show over here, people. This is how it rolls. I'm my cameraman. I'm my lighting technician. I'm my editor, everything. So yeah, what kind of music do you like? I like oldies from the 80s. I'm really an oldies fan. So I like 70s and 80s, some 90s. I really don't know that much music from today because I really don't listen to the radio. I don't listen to the radio anymore. So I wouldn't really know many songs, that are current today. But I have my favorites, I have Madonna, Billy Joel, The Doors. Now look how old The Doors is, In fact, when I went to Paris, I went to see Jim Morrison's grave in Père-Lachaise Cemetery. It was on my bucket list because I was a big Morrison fan. I saw the Morrison movie that Val Kilmer did on him. He did an excellent portrayal of Jim Morrison. And I read many books on Jim Morrison. I also bought Jim Morrison and me have something in common. Jim Morrison wrote poetry. He has poetry books out there. I don't know if any of you Morrison or Doors fans, but yeah. Of course, Jim Morrison moved to Paris because to write poetry. He wanted to escape the rock and roll image that he had, the sex goddess, he went there and he grew his hair and gained a lot of weight and just like totally escaped. He could be more himself, escape that image because everyone, wanted him to be that, rock god, and he really wanted to concentrate more on his poetry than his music. And that's what he was doing there while he was in Paris, and he died in Paris. Right. Check. Oh, Sandy Denny. Okay. I'll have to check out Sandy Denny. Is she a YouTuber? She probably is a YouTuber, Sandy Denny. With me, I would just wing it. I don't play any instruments. So, oh, Ruby! Oh, the girl Ruby is on. All right, Ruby 𝗖cie. Here you are. Here you are. My girl Ruby 𝗖cie is on. Subscribe to her channel because I can't even explain how awesome and I don't understand how her channel hasn't gone viral. Your channel is phenomenal. It's blow up. And the videos and the thumbnails are really professional. I mean, really professional. And they just make me look like a piece of shit. Really, when you look at Ruby 𝗖cie's channel, and there she is, see her right there. It's really professionally done, and the topics are mind-blowing, really intriguing, and she's very down to earth, very real. This is what this woman is: real, down to earth, and a joy to watch. And if I haven't been spending so much time trying to do my own friggin' videos, I'd be watching tons and tons of hers. But I have to be honest, I have not been good at watching other creators' videos because I've been spending so much time doing my own shit that it's hard to catch other people's things. Like I was watching a couple of her lives, which were really unbelievable when she was going off phenitol. Was it phenitol? Going off this drug, and she's recording it, it's so raw. It's it should be a reality show. You should have your own reality show, definitely, because it's raw. She's there doing these lives and showing people this is how hard it is. This is what I'm going through. And this is me, and that's what I love about it. So let's see. She is from the 60s and 70s. Who? Not Ruby. Oh, that woman that you were mentioning. That music there. Let's see what I have to scroll up. What did you say? 𝗂cie HIH'', is from the 60s and 70s. Okay. So she's a singer from the 60s and 70s. I've never heard of her. Anyone know 𝗂cie HIH''? Nope. But I do like that time era, you know. That's when I was growing up too, in the 60s and 70s. So I was talking about my marriage. I was talking about my infidelities for people who just hop on board here. Read some of the comments here. We were talking about being a creator, how it feels to be a creator, why I love being a creator. And I think Ruby can appreciate that too, because she's a creator, an artist, right? I'm not your 9-to-5 typical person. I'm not your, you know, typical housewife. What else am I not? I'm just me. You know, I'm outside of the box. I don't fit into these molds. And a lot of people that don't fit in, that fit out like I do, yeah, people don't like us. They don't accept us. They have a hard time, maybe because they're jealous of us, because we just do our own shit and we don't give a shit. We go out there and give it our all, and we're not conventional. We don't fit. Well, I'll only speak for myself. I don't fit in mainstream society. Okay. No, I don't fit in that at all. Okay. I'm a creator. I'm a writer. I'm a YouTuber. And what I feel passionate about what I do, but it doesn't earn me anything, you know. So that's just what it is. It would be great to earn some money from my art. Who wouldn't love that, you know? But that has not happened yet. I'm trying to make that happen. I'm working on that happening. Trying to, like today, I, instead of spontaneously coming on doing this, I gave people a warning yesterday, and I put out a poll. What do you want me to talk about? And let's see. Right before I got on, 0 people wanted me to talk about my therapist. 43% wanted me to talk about being borderline, growing up with a schizophrenic father. 57%, the majority, wanted me to talk about my marriage, which I did. If you scroll up, I did talk about my marriage. And then I put other, so people could write something that they wanted to talk about, and nobody did that. Nobody suggested a different topic, which I gave you the opportunity on the poll with other for you to suggest something, but no one did that either. Let's see. The only person besides the band to ever perform on a Led Zeppelin album. Oh, cool. Is that 𝗂cie HIH''? I haven't heard from her. I'm not a big Led Zeppelin fan either. Don't know why. Not saying that I don't like Led Zeppelin. I just not a big fan. But what else? What else do you, any more questions? Is it something you people want to ask, or is it something you people want to talk about? So now is your time. This live is really for you guys, you know. This is why I do the live, because when I do my videos, I'm doing, you know, I'm talking about what I want to talk about, what I want to put out there. When I do the live, it's about, you know, what you guys want. It's the time to get to know you guys. You can talk about yourself. You can tell me something about yourself, or you can ask me questions. Talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, you know. So this is the time to get to know each other. I'm glad I see old faces like Ruby and Nelson, because now I'm getting to know you. I also saw, what is her name? Hope. Yes, Hope. Hope from Tennessee. And I think Ruby's from Rhode Island. And I don't know where Nelson is. I'm from Boston, y'all. I haven't seen my friend Steve. He was on last time. Or my friend Brett Maynard. So they're not around. It's more of a quiet Sunday, you know. What do you do on a Sunday? Oh, what do I do on a Sunday? I'm going to be doing lives now every Sunday. I'm going to try to make that a goal. Because people said I really should do more lives. And the only trouble I have with doing lives is when no one is saying anything. And then it's like I'm trying to fill in, all right, talking about something. And I don't think I don't really think I'm good at just sitting here and trying to fill space talking. I feel more comfortable when someone asks me a question and then I can answer the question. This is how I feel more comfortable. I'm just sitting here talking, trying to fill space until someone asks me something. My mouse dropped. So yeah, what? Here we go. What happened here? Oh no. I don't know. I only see half of me now. I don't see half the screen. My crazy computer has been having so much trouble. Anyone? What is that? I don't know. My screen went black. Half of the bottom went black. So I don't know. I think it's time for me to wrap up this live, okay? Because I'm having so many problems with the lighting, with my screen. Yeah, I don't know. What the heck? Let's see. Here I am back. I didn't end it. I just had to click off because my screen was acting funky. I don't know. It was acting funky. Now it looks normal. But I'm going to end this live soon. I'm going to try to go an hour and a half. It's an hour and 21 minutes. So give it another 10 more minutes. You got 10. 𝗂cie what? Where's Nelson? Oh, Nelson might have disappeared because my screen was acting funky. So I clicked it off and then I came back on and now it looks normal. So he might have thought I left. I don't know, but I'm still here. I'm going to end it. I'm going to go an hour and a half. So you got 8 more minutes. Yeah, an hour and a half, 1 hour, 30 minutes. I think that's, can you react to a song? Can I react to a song? Like what? What do you mean? React to a song? I don't understand your questioning. Can I react to a song? Does a certain song make me emotional or something? Is that what you're asking? A lot of songs make me cry. Most songs remind me of people, of certain people or events or times in my life. So I do react in that way, if that's answering your question. That when I hear a song, it will remind me of a certain person and a certain time in my life. And I'll think about that person or I'll think about that time and I will react. What do you think of this song? What song? What song are you singing? Oh, I'm bipolar. Oh, I don't even know that song. Are you telling me that you're bipolar or there's a song that says I'm bipolar? Oh, I have borderline personality disorder. I think bipolar and borderline personality disorder are kind of like sisters. I could be wrong, but no, I'm bipolar. Oh, okay. I have borderline personality disorder, and I think that we're similar in the fact that we have mood swings. No, the song is Suspirium by Thorn York. Suspirium? Probably saying it wrong too. Probably not even pronouncing it. I never heard of it. I have never heard of that song. Sorry. Could you tell me what the song is about? Or a little bit about the song? Because I never heard of that song. But getting back to borderline and bipolar are very similar. It's about the last breath. Oh, when you die, when you're dying. Wow, that sounds intense. Your last breath when you die. Very intense. Yeah. So what do you get from hearing that song? How are your reactions? How do you feel when you hear that song? I never think about dying because I don't like it. It's very depressing. I just want to live more life. I want to do more things. I try not to. I feel melancholic, right? Melancholy, yeah. Yeah, I mean, melancholy is not a really um, good feeling to feel for me. Um, I do feel it many times, a lot lately, a lot. But music and dancing are so relaxing and soothing and express the body and soul. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. Music and dancing, because it's very hard to feel uptight if you're dancing, okay? It kind of, relaxes you. You can't dance if you're uptight. Think about it. Why do they say let loose, right? Let loose when you dance. Because to dance, you do have to let loose, unless you're doing conventional dancing like ballroom or waltzes or something. If you go to a nightclub, all right, and you're on the dance floor, you got to let loose, all right? It forces you to let loose. Let's see. Throughout your life, including online, how many males have approached you? What do you mean by approached me? Do you mean asked me out on a date? Do you mean approached me to have sex? Um, do you mean flirted with me? What do you mean approach me? Oh, Johnny Depp is bipolar. Yeah, and what's Amber Heard? Isn't she borderline? His ex-wife Amber Heard? A lot of people approach me on the internet, like especially on LinkedIn, and I just ignore them. You know, I don't know if you mean approach in person or on the internet, or it probably doesn't even register that some of them are approaching me. I just, yeah, the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case was interesting. Have you ever watched some of the trial there? It's very, very interesting, especially that time when she shit on his side of the bed. How many people have, knew about that? Like, how disgusting. Why would you do that? Why would someone do that? I don't get it. Obviously she, disdains him and wanted to do something repulsive to him and wanted to really stick it to him, or, to do that, it's so, to me, it's just so repulsive that it's not the way that I would try to get back at someone. It's too unladylike for me. I'm too much of a lady. I would not be able to do it. I couldn't do it. Even if I hated the person or whatever, I could not do that. I would do it. I would do something else. But I wouldn't do that. But I'm sure, many men have approached plenty of women, and that's a very difficult question to accurately answer. Like if you said, how many people have you had sex with? That's much easier. But how many men have approached you through my whole life? How can you keep track of that number? I mean, really, I could never even guess that. 2 more minutes coming up, and I'm going to end this because this video has been, the lighting and the laptop balance on the drum is driving me really crazy. And it's coming up on that bewitching time. It's 10:31 already, and I got a lot of stuff to do. Get ready for. I'm going to see my son today, bring him home for dinner. So, any more last thoughts? I think it was dominance and letting him know that she can't be ignored. Oh, okay. that makes sense, but it's just vile and disgusting, and I would think of other ways where I could show my dominance and that I can't be ignored without doing that. Yeah, it sounds like someone who's extremely immature. It sounds like someone who's out of control. It sounds like a toddler. You know what I mean? I'm gonna shit on my mommy's bed or daddy's bed because they punished me or they took away my candy or my toys. So I'm gonna. It just seems like someone who really is mentally sick, in my opinion, who's out of control. How can you have dominance when you're supposedly out of control? You're acting childish. It's just not what I would do. That's not how I roll. But yeah, I've been live now for an hour and a half. So thank y'all for coming. The ones that come, the ones that comment, thank you even more for at least engaging. And hopefully I'll be back here next week at 9, live at 9 next week. And until then, we'll be seeing you.